It all started with a mosquito trapped in amber. From that tiny piece of ancient history, a movie legend was born, one that shook the world in 1993 and continues to be a massive part of pop culture 3 decades later. What began as a warning story about the dangers of science has exploded into a huge, multi-billion-dollar adventure about survival. Now, with so many sequels, new movies, and another one coming in 2025 called Jurassic World: Rebirth, just figuring out the story is its own challenge. This isn't just a ranking, it's a journey through one big, connected timeline. It's a story about big ambitions, the consequences of our choices, and why people can't seem to learn that some things are best left in the past. The order you watch them in matters, because the mistakes of one generation become the monsters of the next. So, whether you're a longtime fan returning to Isla Nublar or seeing it all for the first time, this is the ultimate guide for you. We're ranking every movie and putting the timeline in order, from the original classic to the wild new films and beyond. 7. Jurassic World: Dominion 2022. Imagine a world where dinosaurs finally roam free among us. This was the epic promise of Jurassic World. Dominion, the movie meant to be the grand finale for the new trilogy. But the biggest threat our heroes faced wasn't a T-Rex. It was giant locusts. This strange choice is why the film, which was a huge box office success, often feels like the weakest link in the entire series. The story follows Owen Grady and Claire Dearing as they try to survive in this new world where humans and dinosaurs live side by side. The plot kicks off when their adopted daughter, Maisie, is kidnapped. This brings them face to face with the legendary trio from the original film: Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm. Seeing the old and new casts together should have been incredible, but the movie feels overstuffed. The script juggles too many ideas, with a confusing subplot about genetically modified locusts and a villain who feels more like a cartoon character than a real threat. It's like 2 different movies fighting for screen time. But Dominion still has some amazing moments. There's a thrilling chase scene in the streets of Malta, with velociraptors chasing our heroes in a pulse-pounding sequence. The dinosaurs themselves look fantastic, especially the massive Giganotosaurus, which was brought to life with a stunning mix of CGI and lifelike puppets. Claire's character also gets a chance to shine, growing from a business-focused manager into a fierce and caring hero. But in the end, though, the movie tries to do too much by focusing so heavily on locusts and secret labs. 6. Jurassic Park III 2001. Next on our list is the movie that ditches a complex story for pure, non-stop survival. In Jurassic Park III, Dr. Alan Grant gets tricked into returning to Isla Sorna, the second dinosaur island, for what he believes is just a guided tour. He soon finds out it's really a dangerous rescue mission to save a young boy named Eric, who crashed there while parasailing. For a movie with a troubled script, it's still a thrilling, though somewhat shallow, ride. It introduces a terrifying new villain, the Spinosaurus, which is bigger and meaner than a T-Rex. Sam Neill is great as the grumpy hero who is forced back into the chaos against his will. The film also has some unforgettable action scenes, like a suspenseful encounter inside a misty birdcage full of pteranodons. But the film's weaknesses are hard to ignore. The story feels rushed, and the side characters are mostly forgettable. There's a controversial scene where the Spinosaurus defeats a T-Rex in a fight that feels forced, like the movie is trying too hard to prove its new dinosaur is cooler. A silly gag involving a cell phone ringing from inside a dinosaur's stomach is more goofy than scary. Because it's the shortest movie in the series, it doesn't have time for the big ideas that made the original so great. There's no deep message about the dangers of playing God. Instead, it feels more like a fun side quest than a major chapter in the saga. It's a great movie for pure dinosaur action, but it lacks the heart and wonder of the first film. 5. For Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom 2018. Coming in at number 5 is Fallen Kingdom, a movie that feels like 2 completely different stories smashed into one. It's a bold and often visually stunning film, but its split personality makes it one of the messiest entries in the franchise. The first half is a thrilling disaster movie. 3 years after the theme park was destroyed, Owen and Claire must return to Isla Nublar for a daring mission: save the dinosaurs from a volcano that's about to erupt and wipe them out for good. This part of the film is filled with spectacular action and a real sense of danger as our heroes race against time. But then, the movie completely changes gears. The second half becomes a creepy horror film set inside a Gothic mansion. Suddenly, the story is about secret labs, genetic experiments, and a ridiculous auction where villains sell dinosaurs to the highest bidder. It's an ambitious swing, but the two halves never quite fit together. What makes the movie work are its incredible visuals and darker tone. The director creates some truly beautiful and haunting scenes. A shot of a lone brachiosaurus crying out as it's swallowed by smoke from the volcano is genuinely heartbreaking. Later, the scenes with the terrifying new Indoraptor stalking characters through the mansion feel like a true horror movie, creating a level of suspense rarely seen in the series. What doesn't work is the plot with the human villains. The idea of evil businessmen auctioning off dinosaurs feels silly and cartoonish. Worse, characters often make unbelievably dumb decisions that only serve to move the story forward. Ultimately, Fallen Kingdom is a bridge. It's the bold movie that finally destroys the island and sets the dinosaurs loose in our world, setting the stage for the next chapter. Even if it's messy, it's a necessary step that changed the franchise forever. 4. Jurassic World Rebirth 2025. After the over-the-top chaos of the last few films, the franchise needed to get back to basics. Jurassic World Rebirth does exactly that, trading massive explosions for tense, grounded survival. It's the fresh start the series desperately needed. The story picks up 5 years after Dominion. The grand experiment of bringing dinosaurs into our world has mostly failed, and the few remaining creatures now live in isolated jungle environments similar to their prehistoric homes. The plot centers on Zora Bennett, a skilled expert played by Scarlett Johansson. She is hired to lead a team on a secret mission to an island, where they must collect DNA from 3 massive dinosaurs for a medical breakthrough. The new director, Gareth Edwards, brings a totally different energy. He gets rid of the silliness from the last few movies and builds suspenseful scenes that feel much more like the classic 1993 original. The movie feels focused and serious again. What works so well is the smaller story. Instead of saving the world, it's a tight, nail-biting thriller about trying to survive. When the team gets stranded on the island, the stakes feel personal and real. Scarlett Johansson is great as a tough, smart hero, not just another character screaming at dinosaurs. The dinosaurs themselves feel genuinely dangerous again because the movie understands that less is more. They are scarier when they are hiding in the shadows, not constantly on screen. However, the movie isn't perfect. The middle part can feel slow, with a lot of time spent just walking through the jungle before the exciting action kicks in. And, in classic Jurassic fashion, some characters still make frustratingly dumb decisions. Even with its flaws, Rebirth feels like a true return to form. It's a focused, scary adventure that reminds us why we were so captivated by these creatures in the first place. 3. Jurassic World 2015. 14 years after the last movie, the franchise came roaring back to life with a simple, brilliant idea. What if the park actually opened? Jurassic World shows us exactly that. John Hammond's dream is now a reality. A massive, fully functioning dinosaur theme park that is the most popular tourist destination on the planet. But after years of success, the visitors have gotten used to seeing dinosaurs. They are getting bored. To keep people interested, the park's scientists create a new attraction, a genetically modified hybrid called the Indominus Rex. It's bigger, smarter, and far more dangerous than any dinosaur that has ever existed. And of course, it escapes. This roaring reboot introduces us to Owen Grady, a raptor trainer who has formed a unique bond with his animals, giving the movie a surprising amount of heart. We also meet Claire Deering, the park's uptight manager who transforms into a determined survivor when the chaos begins. Jurassic World is a movie that is both much smarter and a lot dumber than you'd expect. The smart part is how it cleverly critiques our own desire for bigger and louder entertainment. The park created a monster because we, the audience, are always demanding more. The dumb parts come from characters making ridiculous decisions and plot holes you could drive a tour vehicle through. Even with its flaws, the film was a massive success. It brought the franchise back in a huge way, proving that audiences were still hungry for thrilling dinosaur adventures. It perfectly blends nostalgia for the original with a fresh, modern sense of spectacle. 2. The Lost World, Jurassic Park 1997. How do you follow up a perfect movie? By revealing a shocking secret. There was a second island all along. 4 years after the disaster at Jurassic Park, Dr. Ian Malcolm learns about Site B, a place where dinosaurs were bred in the wild before being moved to the main park. This time, the threat isn't just about dinosaurs escaping, it's about greedy humans trying to capture them. John Hammond's nephew has taken over the company and plans to bring the dinosaurs to a new theme park in San Diego. The one person who knows how bad this can get, Ian Malcolm, is forced to return to that nightmare world. Why? Because the woman he loves is already on the island, and he has to go in and get her. This is a much darker and more intense film than the first one. Director Steven Spielberg is back, and he masterfully creates some of the most memorable scenes in the entire franchise. From a terrifying sequence with a trailer dangling over a cliff to a full-blown T-Rex rampage through the streets of San Diego, the action is bigger and more frightening. Jeff Goldblum is fantastic as the returning hero, and the film treats the dinosaurs less like monsters and more like real, unpredictable animals protecting their territory. However, the movie sometimes struggles under its own weight. The story feels torn in two. The first half is a jungle survival adventure, while the second half is a city-smashing monster movie. It's also filled with characters who make frustratingly dumb decisions, and it never quite captures the focused storytelling magic of the original. Despite its flaws, The Lost World was a huge success and remains a thrilling sequel. It's darker, messier, and bolder, delivering an unforgettable spectacle that proved audiences were still desperate to return to the age of the dinosaurs. 1. Jurassic Park, 1993. Some movies are just movies, and then there are films that change everything. Jurassic Park sits at number 1 because it is a true cinematic revolution. A film so perfect it remains untouched by time. The story begins with a dream. A wealthy billionaire, John Hammond, has funded a project that allows his scientists to bring dinosaurs back from extinction. To share this miracle with the world and make a huge profit, he builds a spectacular theme park on a remote island. But when a greedy computer programmer shuts down the park's security systems to steal dinosaur embryos, this island paradise instantly becomes a terrifying nightmare. What makes it so perfect? Director Steven Spielberg masterfully balances moments of pure wonder with scenes of heart-pounding terror. The first time we see the giant Brachiosaurus, it's a moment of pure movie magic that still gives you goosebumps. A few scenes later, you're hiding under your seat as the T-Rex smashes through a car. Every character feels real and important. You have Dr. Alan Grant, the tough paleontologist who becomes a protector. Dr. Ian Malcolm, the funny and brilliant expert who warns that it will all go wrong. And the two kids, who aren't just annoying sidekicks, but genuinely scared children you desperately want to see survive. The dinosaurs themselves are the true stars, using a groundbreaking mix of giant, lifelike puppets and incredible computer animation. The film created creatures that looked and felt completely real. Even today, they look amazing. And that's our journey through the Jurassic saga. From the perfect original to the wild new adventures, these films made us all believe dinosaurs could walk the earth again. But that's my list. Now I want to hear yours. What's your definitive ranking? Drop it in the comments below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more breakdowns.